Okay, it is 11:11 on Wednesday, March 4th. So let's see, we have a 341111. Not sure what that adds up to. Someone can do the numerology and figure that out. Welcome to everyone. I'm Stephen the Channeler,
And this is Stephanie. Welcome, everyone.
and we are here for another session of Blessings from the Dragon. We do this every Wednesday, and Jadon Se will read the energies of anyone who gives their permission to have their energies read. You can do that inwardly. You don't have to type it in the chat or anything. So if you have given your permission, you will be incorporated in his energetic reading when he comes on. And that's kind of what we do. And then we also read into whatever's happening in the world or in the field. And then there are questions, clarifications, or requests for blessings or what have you. We ask that you keep this of interest to those gathered, so we don't really do personal readings or personal questions that wouldn't be of interest to the whole group. So if you do have a comment or a question or a request for a blessing or something like this, or some sharings are beautiful. Please make sure that they are of interest. And yes, yesterday we had a blood moon activation, and Jadon Se went into the sort of the energy of that moment, and we're still in that energetic field. It's sort of a calm between what he calls the changing of the tides, where the old world was ebbing away and the new world will come flooding in. And he says that tide will indeed rise all boats, and that's beautiful. So that was yesterday's. There is a recording from that, so that energetic is still in play if you want to tune into that at your leisure. Yeah, the first few moments, Jadon Se came on and there was no audio, and so he gave an entire reading that just went out energetically into the fields. So that was kind of cool, actually. Okay, so let us go ahead and do our shout-outs. Stephanie may want to help with the shout-outs here. We'll ask you where in this moment of now you are on this beautiful planet. It's really fun to tune into the energies of who's all gathered here. And here's a map of our usual suspects, so and all of the connections. So
I see we have Southern California and Worcester, Massachusetts. Welcome. Toronto, Canada, and Tyrol, Austria has joined. Let's see. Where is that? Trenton, Maine. I haven't seen Maine before. That's great. Somebody from Maine. In Camden, New Jersey. And is that Malatya, Turkey? Welcome. London. And Vancouver, Canada. Yakima, Washington has joined. South Africa. Price, Utah. Germany. Wow. Welcome, everyone. London, England.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep shouting it out. We will, as you let us know where you are, we will welcome you.
Turkey. And the Netherlands. Welcome. And let's see, another Vancouver Island. Welcome, Maine. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, it is nice. I don't remember having Maine on before, so welcome to you. Thank you for joining. I climbed Mount Katahdin years ago, so that's my Maine experience. Very good. So, okay, well, thank you for joining everyone, and any latecomers we will still acknowledge.
Yeah, we have Norway joining. Welcome.
Okay, beautiful. And let's see. I guess we'll go ahead and let's see. Bridget from Maine. My view is Arcadia National Park. All right. So yeah, it's so beautiful. That whole area is just gorgeous, especially after a nice rain. Rain in Maine. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in Jadon Se, and he will do an energetic reading for everyone present. And he has pulled an oracle card from our deck. And uh, Aaron wants us to remind everyone that there's a Telegram chat, and there is a link posted in the description to this live stream. So we're encouraging anyone who's, especially the newcomer from Maine, anyone who wishes to, have discussions and sharings and compare notes on working with dragon energies and dragons in general, dragon sigils, timeline jumping, um, realm bridging, all of the beautiful magical abilities that come with working with dragon energies. Anyone who wants to share or compare notes or have discussions with other fellow workers of the dragon energies, just join us on Telegram. Thank you, Aaron Darvish, for setting up that Telegram chat. The link is in the description below. Please join if you wish. And those of you who are taking the Working with Dragon Energies classes, level 1 and level 2, we really encourage you to share your experiences there in the chat, in the Telegram chat. And moving forward, those let's just go ahead and do some announcements. We are moving forward with offering the level 1 classes as recordings after this current live class graduates. So we're doing March will be the final live class. I think we've done 4 sessions of level 1 now. And so the 5th session will be via recording. We'll just pick the best recordings and still offer them, and they'll be available for immediate download when you do that. Jadon Se will still check in and make sure that the energies of those who are taking these classes is appropriate. We want these dragon energies used for the highest good. No dark wizards allowed. So anyway, and Jadon Se will revoke any knowledge or wisdom or blessings from anyone who uses them for inappropriate purposes. So that happens immediately. It's kind of automatic. So anyway, we are encouraging especially new students who join those classes to get on the chat because the recorded classes will have questions that come up that were recorded and addressed. But if you have your own questions or clarifications, the Telegram is the perfect place to do that. There are, I think, somewhere around 100 students now that have joined our various classes. So I don't know how many are on Telegram chatting regularly, probably not nearly that many, but there are certainly plenty of people working with and experiencing dragon energies, and it's a beautiful thing. So because we are moving into that sort of a model where level 1 will be recorded, we're still doing level 2 live, and Jadon Se is bringing through some new workshops. We already did the Keys to Abundance, and that's a very powerful workshop, the 7 different keys to unlocking abundance in your life and your building your dreams and all that. We're going to continue to add to these workshops. Jadon Se is already starting to bring in glimpses of something that's coming called the Golden Codes. And these will be codes to the Golden Age. Many light workers are kind of struggling to get this Golden Age really going, and some are dealing with karmic issues and looping traumas and self-love issues and confidence, throat chakra issues from lifetimes of being persecuted and shut down as a light worker. And when you speak your truth to power in the old times, oftentimes it didn't end well. So a lot of us have let's just say little blockages or holdbacks, burdens that we need to release. And so Jadon Se is going to be doing a series of workshops called the Golden Codes for releasing these burdens and to help us move easily into the new Golden Age. And so those will be coming soon. Look for announcements on those. We hope we're not moving too fast or making too many announcements for all you guys. We're just trying to bring in the best guidance into the Golden Ages that we can, and at the appropriate pace and offerings. So please know that we're trying to be 100% appropriate with that. So more to come on that. We do have our Oracle deck. We still have some physical decks in stock. We haven't run out of our first batch yet, but they are going, and they are dwindling. Supplies are dwindling. So if you want your physical Oracle deck, please check in. We added international shipping options to our website. Unfortunately, it's very expensive to ship internationally from the U.S., even with discounted shippers and all that. So anyway, it will. The website will estimate what it costs to ship to you internationally. So if it's too much, just download the app instead. We have the Oracle Deck app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, and it's just called Golden Dragon Oracle Deck. You can get it for less than $10, and then it has voice readings for each card. And the nice thing about that is we added a feature you can use it with your physical deck. So if you have your physical deck in front of you and you pull a card, you can pull up your phone and enter in the card number really easily and quickly, and hear Jadon Se give you guidance, voice audio channeled guidance for each card. So they do work together, and that's kind of fun. We're not aware of any other decks that do that, so that's kind of fun. I think that's it for announcements.
We can welcome Long Beach, California, Thailand, and Tulsa. Welcome.
Beautiful, beautiful. One last thing. We did have an interview with Lauren Gailey on the New Earth One network. You can also find that, I think, on YouTube under Blu-ray Collective. So anyway, that was kind of a fun interview where she spent about half the interview talking to me, and then the other half speaking with Jadon Se and getting some guidance to come through for more of a broad audience. So that was kind of fun. And, we're not used to going on camera, and especially channeling on cameras. That was a new experience. So anyway, that's it for announcements. Let's just go ahead and we will pull up the card that Jadon Se pulled for this. And I will go into channel and we'll see what Jadon Se has to say. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness, and this is another gathering of Blessings from the Dragon. Dear ones, we do this every Wednesday at 11:11 in your Pacific time. Dear ones, if you give your permission, I will do an energetic reading, and you do not need to say anything out loud or post anything in the chat. Just inwardly say, Jadon Se, I give my permission to have my energetics incorporated into this reading. And dear ones, we will pull a card from our oracle deck, and we will provide an extended reading of the energies for those gathered, and the energies of the earth and what is humming along the dragon lines and so forth. So, dear ones, your card today, your oracle card, is number 8, dear ones. You are guided. Dear ones, the guidance and signs that you have been sensing are correct. Your dragons, guides, and angels are helping you right now. So tune in and trust the guidance you are receiving. Dear ones, this is very important in these times for you to be aware and sensitive to your inner guidance. It is, let us say, going to be a little more than just a whisper in these times. As if you are inviting it in, let us say, it is important for you to have that invitation open to your higher, greater self, to your guides, your angels, your dragons, etc., dear ones. And always stipulate that you welcome guidance for your highest, greatest good in the eyes of the highest divine. It is very important to, when you open a doorway like this, to be specific as to who is has permission to walk through that door, let us say. Remember, there is no such thing as coincidence, dear ones. So look for the messages in even the smallest occurrences around you. Dear ones, we have drawn this card to remind you that you are loved, protected, and supported beyond your wildest dreams. As a child of the divine, you are always guided, dear ones. You only just have to open up to that guidance. If you block it, you will not sense it. So be aware, dear ones. You have just been distracted, and sometimes too distracted, dear ones, to see these numerous signs around you. Pay attention to what at first may seem subtle, dear ones, and things will become much clearer as you do so. Dear ones, this is like a habit. It is developed in time. And the more you do this, the more you tune into this guidance, the more clear it will become, the more you will feel it, and you will confirm it in your own beingness. It will become a realization, dear ones. Right now, your guidance, there is a predominant flow of this. It is, many of you need to make a firm decision. Still sitting on the fence, some of you since the last gathering, and your butts must be very sore. Fences are not very comfortable. Let us say the only way to get off that fence is to make a clear decision. And some of you, dear ones, are still sitting on that fence because you are not sure if your decision will cause discomfort to those around you, or be well received by those around you, or be approved by those you value their opinion and things like this. And so if you're putting off a decision because you are not unsure as to how others will react, dear ones, always default to the decision that is truest to your own beingness, authentic to yourself, the decision of your heart. For it is only when you are true to yourself that you can be true to others. If you are deceiving yourself, you will be deceptive to others. You will not come through with authenticity, even if you are making a decision trying to be agreeable with others, or trying to help keep them feeling good or happy. If it is not your authentic self making this decision, there will be, let us say, some level of inauthenticity that you share with these others. So be true to yourself first and foremost. And yes, dear ones, be compassionate, be gentle, be kind, make decisions in such a way that others are considered and are brought in the best way possible. You can have it both ways. It is just that when it comes down to it, you must be true to yourself first and foremost. Dear ones, there is now, let us just say, so much support. Powerful beings are here to help you. And let us just say, it is the most powerful beings that you resonate with. For some of you, this might be an archangel or some highly divine being, your Kuan Yin, or a Buddha, or some saint or master. Powerful dragons in your guidance, in your field. Dear ones, it is so pronounced right now. You are all very much supported. You have the firm attention of beautiful, divine, loving guidance and support. These beings of immense power and ability, who are protecting, supporting you, guiding you, helping along, unseen hands at work, creating beneficial situations for you to move forward, if only you will make that true and authentic decision. So, dear ones, these beings cannot assist you if you are indecisive, for they will never violate your free will. Let us just say, you need to ask for the assistance, and in order to ask with clarity and without conflict or ambiguity, you must ask clearly. You must make a decision, dear ones. And once you have done this, you will manifest what you need. You will call in your dreams with, you will see it will come very rapidly and with ease and grace. Once you have truly aligned yourself with the highest good, your greatest good, and there are no conflicts within you, this is when things really start to flow. And this is how flow works. When there is alignment, if you think of a waterway, if there is a jumble of rocks in the middle of the water, or some trees have fallen across the stream, etc., there is not a clear flow. It is only when things are in alignment. Let us say the channel is clear, and the banks are well defined, and there is enough depth for the water to flow. It is when this alignment occurs that you have a great, beautiful flow with ease and grace, without rapids and roaring and all of this. It is just this smooth flow, dear ones. This happens when you align. You are the one who sculpts the banks of this stream, so to speak, with your decisiveness, with your clarity, with your lack of ambiguity. It is when you are, let us say, when your decisions are not clear and well defined. This is when you have rocks in the middle of the stream, and rapids and little waterfalls and all of this. They may be beautiful and make beautiful sounds. However, the flow is impeded when this happens. It can become rather chaotic at times even, and let us say turbulent. And so just become aligned within your beingness for ease and grace, and a great flowing of blessings will be yours, dear ones. This is your guidance for this week. Remember, dear ones, you are guided. Just make clear decisions, and these beautiful, powerful beings will come to your assistance. There will be a beautiful flow, and your dreams will begin to just come true all by themselves in some cases. This invisible hand seemingly helping you on your way to building your greatest, highest dreams for the greatest good of all. And dear ones, do not leave yourself out of that. This is your guidance for the week. Hopefully it is clear, and if there are any clarifications needed, we will provide them. And if there are any sharings of what is going on in this your world right now that align with this, please bring these sharings. Dear ones, let us also address that many of you are very concerned about the news of the day, and some of the transmissions you are hearing on your devices, and the legacy media and all of this. Dear ones, let us just say that much of this is surface action. Let us say waves on the surface. There are deeper currents at work that are indeed beneficial, even when the waves on the surface seem chaotic and turbulent, even fearful or negative in some ways. Dear ones, the overall flow of things in these times is coming to a conclusion, like we have said in your blood moon blessing, the changing of the tide, the turning of the tide. The ebb tide is finished. The dark energies have left. Their systems are broken. There is no more, let us say, structure for the corruption and dark energies that once prevailed. There are minor corruptions that persist, and they will be rooted out in time. It is like when your tide turns. Sometimes even when the new high tide is coming in, there are still currents that are flooding out. As the new tide is coming in certain places along the shore, there is still an outgoing tide, apparently. It is like this. It is just not very pronounced. The main action of the tide is an incoming rising of goodness, of this golden age. And there are still a little, let us say, along the shores, there may be some of the inappropriate energy still trickling away, and this will continue for a time. And just know, dear ones, that the world, even though it seems to be in chaos and turbulence is heading in the right direction, and it is very pronounced, good direction, the golden age, dear ones. So, hopefully, this helps to clear up anything that may come up in the chat in the questions. So, this is your reading for now. We will address the questions in the chat, dear ones.
Well, let's welcome Belgium and South Africa. And I see a Steph Peters. Welcome. Let's see, we have a blessing request. I guess I have to click it twice. Blessing request from Daisy Tam 972. Blessings to all those on Gaia who may be feeling abandoned, confusion, love, compassion, and kindness, peace and calm to the flora, the fauna, humanity towards stewardship, and collaboration with the elementals, etc.
This is a beautiful blessing that you have uttered here. And let us add to this. Let us add that may any action that is occurring right now lead in the arc of time to peace, to the restoration of this beautiful Gaia, clear and pure waters, clear and pure air, and beautiful life force abundant everywhere, fields of flowers growing. And yes, dear ones, let us pronounce also that if there are any conflicts that remain in these times, that they be moving in the direction of the restoration of peace. So, dear ones, it is not always 100% peaceful on the entire planet. Let us just say that whenever a conflict does arise, that it be resolved with ease and grace in the best way for the highest good, and that it lead to even greater peace. This is a beautiful blessing. Thank you for this.
We have someone asking, hi, can we send healing blessings to my aunt to help heal her cancer, please? Bridget from Maine is asking.
Dear one, your loving aunt and Annie, let us make this blessing a little wider than simply a personal one for a single being. Let us give a blessing for all who are experiencing this affliction that is called cancer. First, let us just say, from the cosmos, let us give this gift and inject this into the human morphogenetic field, that your cancer, the time is up, dear ones. We will just say there have been cures for this cancer, for all cancers that have been suppressed. And why have they been suppressed? Well, in the darker times, beings had vested interests in keeping these cancers going, and so this is falling away. These beautiful, yes, dear ones, natural ways of curing your cancers are here, dear ones, and if you search for them, you will find them. Let us add a blessing that beings who are undergoing this condition, we will call it. It is not truly a condition. It is, let us say, a belief system even that causes dis-ease. Let us give a blessing that those who are able to awaken to the beautiful natural, yes, cures for this condition. They are available, dear ones. There are plant medicines that can very rapidly cure this. There are changes in diet that are shown to cure this. All of the different types of cancers, dear ones. It is most often an imbalance that is, let us say, artificially created by lifestyle, by poor diet, by imbalances in body chemistry coming from all of these. And these can be restored very well, very effectively with plant medicines, with changes in lifestyle and diet, and changes in the alkalinity and acidity of the being. Dear ones, let us just give a blessing that humanity hastens its awakening from those who are trying to push the old legacy, let us say, treatments, to move beyond and above these. We are not diagnosing, and we do not give medical advice. Let us just say that if you believe in the white, what is coming out of the mouth of the person wearing the white lab coat and with the stethoscope on their shoulder, if you believe in their pronouncements, then you do need to follow their advice, for your beliefs are in line with this. And so we encourage you to also transcend. So we are not encouraging you to discontinue your medical treatment, your conventional legacy medical treatment. We are encouraging you to augment it with a deeper understanding and wisdom of plant medicines and energetic healing, belief-based healing, faith-based healing. Dear ones, look into the placebo effect and what causes it, and take it much further. If you wish to augment your abilities to heal, there are several messages from the dragon on this YouTube channel, and in our level 2 classes especially, there are healing modalities that are energetic based, dear ones. Again, we encourage you to transcend these conventional treatments, not discontinue them, just augment them to the point where you see that these other ways of dealing with this are far superior, and so therefore the old treatments will become obsolete once you are cured, or will they not? We do not promise you will find the cure. We encourage you to explore these avenues, dear ones. So let this be a blessing of awareness to any and all humans and beings on this planet who are experiencing something like this cancer, to take a fresh look at their own lifestyles, their own diets, their own available plant medicines and herbal remedies that are available. Dear ones, let us all pray now for an overall curing of this affliction planet-wide. It is coming, dear ones. Know this. Your Stephanie is adding very potent energies to this blessing.
Paso Pedro09 is asking, can we give a blessing to call in the golden age and to anchor in those energies into Mother Earth for the highest and greatest good and as appropriate for all? Thank you, Jadon Se.
Indeed, dear ones, the focus of this golden cosmic dragon these days, you might say, from your way of reckoning, is bringing in golden codes. And these codes will be focused upon this blessing and bringing in, let us say, the golden age begins within each of us first and foremost, and when it dawns and begins to shine from within us, then and only then does it come out and be expressed in the world. This is how things work, dear ones. Be the change that you wish to see. Call in the golden age within, and so many of us, dear ones, so many beings upon this world. We say us, for your Stephen and Stephanie are included in this, and speaking through this, Stephen, let us just say that this cosmic golden dragon for a time becomes an Earth citizen while speaking here. And so let us just call in what is needed for the golden age. There are so many alignments that are necessary, inner alignments, belief system adjustments, letting go of old habits that are no longer needed, letting go of old burdens and feeling obligated, or old fears, or looping traumas. And dear ones, let us just say there are some who have core belief systems that karma has imprisoned them, and that they are in this wheel of karma and cannot escape, or that this is some sort of prison planet with dark forces that have put up these energetic bars to keep us in these densities. And dear ones, until you let go of these, until you work through these and release and unburden yourself from all of these troubles that exist within each of you and each of us, dear ones, until this happens, the golden age will be hampered, let us say. It will not be a flow and a pronounced, let us say, golden dawn that many are looking towards. Let us just say that the change must happen within first for it to be expressed without. So there will be much effort in the coming days put towards assisting those who need help in releasing these older burdens and belief systems, habits, looping traumas, etc. Let us speak a blessing then for those who need the help to get the help, for those who need assistance in some way to stand in their own sovereignty and their own beautiful spiritual beingness and claim this golden age with fullness of being, not just in voice but in resonance, dear ones. Let us speak this blessing that those who need the assistance gain the assistance, and those who need to dive within and reach new levels of understanding gain these new levels of understanding, become clear and become definite in their claiming of this world as a world with a golden age, dear ones. In your blood moon blessing yesterday, there was an initiation into a mantra, I claim the world where. Dear ones, when you utter these words, I claim the world where, you are aligning yourself within to the world that you are calling forth without. And when that alignment truly happens within you, the calling of the world externally is rather automatic, comes with ease and grace and seemingly magically, dear ones. For you have aligned yourself again. You have tended the shores of this flow of energy to the point where the flow is pronounced and moving with ease and grace. This is how it works, dear ones. Thank you for this blessing.
Welcome, South Lake Tahoe. And we have Kelly asking, do we all share the one same consciousness?
Dear one, this is a beautiful question, and not all who are listening to the answer are ready for a very clear answer on this. For many of you, let us just say that when you give an answer to a question, say in a classroom setting, it becomes a dry mental understanding of some sort. And this is only given whether you accept what is said in this classroom. If you accept this teacher making some image on a chalkboard or bringing up some slide or something and saying, this is how things are, first you must accept it mentally, and then once you accept this mentally, then there is a process where it goes from understanding to realization. How does a mental understanding become realization? We have spoken of this before. If you are dimly aware that there is a city called Paris, Paris, France, and you know that it probably is true that it exists, for it is on maps that are agreed upon, and you may have spoken to people who have been there and have described the city. You may watch some online video or movie or YouTube or something like this, where people are walking around in this Paris, France, and even though you have not been there, let us just say that once you have reached this level, you have a deep understanding, a mental understanding that there is this place called Paris, France. It has this Eiffel Tower, the Ile des Cités, the Arc de Triomphe, all of these beautiful monuments and places and deep histories and histories of Vikings and histories of kings and queens. And dear ones, you may have a deep understanding of Paris. However, until you have stood there, dear ones, this understanding is not a realization. It is when you stand there, when you breathe the air, you see the people passing to and fro, you stand in these places, beautiful cathedrals and beautiful castles and places and palaces. And dear ones, it is not until you have realized France, the Paris of France, that that it becomes, it moves from understanding to realization. And so this question of do we share one consciousness, it would be very easy to just say a simple yes, and then there would be those who accept or reject this answer, and those who accept it will have a very dim understanding. It is not until you walk that walk and actually move into the beingness of others, expand the beingness of self, explore what is a self even, and truly explore it, where you have not only just understood that there is maybe some process of self-realization or self-this or self-that, and it is not until you fully stand in that awareness of self as being this grand consciousness that moves in all things and all beings. And dear ones, it is not until you have realized it that it becomes real. So let us just say that answering the question is not as simple as it seems. It is a journey for each of you to embark upon.
John is sharing, I'm glad for those who can put into words that I cannot do myself, except energetically from any shared here. Thank you for connecting.
Dear ones, yes, this is why it is beautiful that there are sharings. For when you have a group of your peers, say fellow dragon keepers, dragon workers, dragon speakers, dragon riders, dragon walkers, all of this, dear ones, when you have a group of your peers, each one speaking from their viewpoint, the picture becomes fuller. This is very much like that aphorism of the seven blind men touching the sides of an elephant and comparing notes on what an elephant truly is. The understanding becomes more complete with the sharing. So we do thank you. And some share with words, some share with energetics, some are just sitting silently and, let us say, giving energetic support to this gathering. This is every bit as potent and helpful as speaking or typing something into the chat or listening to the voice of a cosmic golden dragon come through your Stephen. It is, let us say, it is all of the above that adds to the coherence of the message, dear ones.
Daisy Tam is asking, Jadon Se, can you provide guidance on better communication with trees and how they can help ground us? If trees need to be removed, how we can lovingly honor them when planting new trees? Blessings.
Dear ones, this is a beautiful question. Here is a little bit of guidance, a few hints and nudges that you may use to better connect with the trees. Let us do a quick little exercise here. Let us all imagine that we are in a forest, and this beautiful forest, we are somehow being asked to help tend it and keep it healthy. For there have been raging fires in the area, and let us just say that it is time for this forest to get a little extra attention to be healthy and fire resistant and just in its prime state, so that a forest fire doesn't take down all trees. And so we have agreed, let us say, to go through and remove some underbrush and to clear out some of the thicker areas of this forest in service of the overall health of the forest. This is important, dear ones. Let us say we have agreed to act in service of the overall health of this forest. And dear ones, now imagine that it is up to you to go through the trees and decide which little saplings and shrubs will be removed in order to help the health of the forest. Dear ones, many of you will struggle with this. How can I kill this poor little sapling, remove it? And dear ones, there is this, many of you will struggle with what I cannot be the chooser of who lives and who dies, and I cannot, this is not fair, and this poor little beautiful sapling needs to be removed, and because there are too many of them gathering all in one place and competing and choking out the light and all of this. How can I decide? Dear ones, many of you will just start to speak to individual trees about this. Is it okay with you for the health of the forest that you be removed? And so many of you will struggle with this for a time, where you are having these conversations with individual trees. Dear ones, let us give a blessing right now to understand that the trees are a collective. The trees in a forest, especially a forest that is primarily one or two different species of trees, or even three or four, let us just say that these trees have a collective consciousness, and that the forest itself has a consciousness. And if you stop tuning into the individual trees and apologizing or asking permission from each individual tree, suddenly it becomes so much more with ease and grace and flow that the forest directs your hands to the ones that should be removed and the ones that should be allowed to stay in place. Suddenly you have this awareness of the light, the way the light falls through the trees, and how the trees are working in cooperation to best use this beautiful divine light. Suddenly, dear ones, you begin to become aware of how the roots intertwine each other. What is this? Your science calls this mycelial networks, where roots can communicate with fungi and different, let us say, chemicals in the soil and all of this. And dear ones, you begin, as soon as you move from this wringing of your hands of individual consciousness of plants and begin to look at it as a collective awareness, this is when you have this aha moment, dear ones, where the forest begins to work directly through your hands. You even give your own hands over to the collective will of the forest. You become a servant of the forest. Suddenly your hands are being guided without even any sort of words or thoughts or flashes of vision or anything. Your hands are simply guided to which trees need to be removed, or which shrubs or undergrowth and all of this. And dear ones, for those of you who are able to do this, to tune into that guidance from the forest, there is such a gift that comes with this. It is love coming through the forest into your beingness. A gratitude starts flowing from the forest into you. And this comes with special gifts, dear ones. You might call them psychic abilities that start to awaken within you. Dear ones, you will see, those of you who are able to do this, to really tune into the collective of these groups of plants and appearances of not only individuals but the entire landscape that you're standing on and all of the beings in it. When you begin to connect on this level, you will start to have abilities dawn on you. These are gifts back to you through the gratitude of Gaia and the land and the flora and the fauna. It can be done with animals as well, and groups of animals. And dear ones, have fun with this. This is a blessing. Thank you for this. This one who has uttered this beautiful blessing. It is, let us say, spreading into a greater blessing through this. Thank you for this.
Okay. Aliyah McCarroll 8989. I am new to this community and very happy to be here. I read there is a planetary Stargate under Iran and Iraq. Is it being cleared, and how can we awaken dragon energies to assist? Group meditation, maybe?
Dear ones, this is a deep esoteric understanding, the understanding of ancient stargates upon this world of yours. And dear ones, it is, let us say this is a very true story for many of you. For you get to choose the world where, if you choose the world where there are these ancient stargates, and that's the operation of these stargates is, let us say, responsible for certain energies upon this, your Gaia, and the inappropriate use of these stargates has been, let us say, used against humanity in many ways. Let us just say, for those of you who resonate with that story and claim the world where this is true, dear ones, then it is true for you. And for those who know that this is not only think, but claim and feel and resonate with, no, this is not true. There are no ancient stargates like this, and it is simply just a 3D war that is happening. And no, my energies are more on human endeavors and technologies, and not something left behind by star brothers and sisters that is powerful and was the foundation of your Tower of Babel and Babylon and all of these. If you reject those stories, dear ones, then you are moving into a world where things are a bit different and the future looks different. The golden age itself is even different. Perhaps it is not as grand of a golden age. Perhaps it is just one where humans remain alone and there are no ETs or star beings, and it is just a time of prosperity for the humans that are here alone on Earth. If that is the world you choose, then you will not see into these stargates. And for those of you, dear ones, most of you here gathered, do agree that there are loving starseed beings and star families who have been coming and going on this world for eons, and that they have left behind beautiful loving technologies, and some of those have been misappropriated, let us say. And yes, dear ones, for those of you who resonate with this, there is a Stargate in your what used to be Babylon, there in Persia, in Tehran, in under, let us say, there is a plateau nearby Tehran where this Stargate exists, and let us just say that this is the 10th Stargate of a series of Stargates that was corrupted, and let us say that the corruption was one of the driving engines of the creation of fear and limitation amongst humans. Dear ones, for those of you who resonate with this, listen closely. This Stargate has already been reclaimed. This Stargate is now been secured by what you would call the white hats. They are, let us say, an alliance of beautiful love-based beings who want the highest good for humanity and have reclaimed this Stargate. This is for those of you who resonate with that story. Let us just say that in this story, there is no real need for us to bless this reclaiming with dragon energies, for it is already been reclaimed and is being restored. What we can do is offer the assistance of the dragon energies to more efficiently and with ease and grace, beautiful flows of energy being restored through this Stargate, to use it for its highest good for humanity. Let us park a dragon right there at that Stargate. We are parking a silver dragon, and this silver dragon, Tethys, is now, let us say, babysitting the reclaiming of this Stargate to assure that it is used for the highest good and to make sure that no dark forces are able to come anywhere near it. And, dear ones, even some of the, let us say, white hats are sometimes fall into temptation to use some of the things they have reclaimed in inappropriate ways. So this Tethys will, let us say, be a guardian for the greatest, highest good of Stargate number 10 on the plateau near Tehran in your ancient Babylon. Dear ones, let us just thank this one for bringing this to our attention, for there are many who are resonating with this. Thank you.
Dear Jadon Se, is the light language different for every galactic race? And how can we learn the dragon light language? Thank you very much, and best regards.
Dear ones, light language is, let us look for a moment at speaking words, language. What is happening? There is, let us say, every soul has a signature. You could call it a vibratory or vibrational signature. And every soul vibrates their body, their beingness in certain ways through, it resonates from this vibrational signature into many different expressions. This could be the color of your eyes, even the patterns within your eyes, first and foremost, spreading out into the just the appearance of your form in so many ways. And dear ones, your voice is very much like the patterns of your eyes, a very core, let us say, conduit to your vibrational signature. The signature of your soul. And so when you speak, there is not only just words and information that you are speaking. No, your soul is vibrating through these words. Yes, these words carry information. They carry thoughts. They carry understandings, blessings, all of this. And there is also this undercurrent, this vibration from that spirit, from that soul, dear ones, that comes through. And it does not need words that make, let us say, logical sense or mental, that evoke mental understandings or images. It does not even need these, that layer, let's say, of information to convey, let us say, a connection from one soul to another, or a connection from one soul to the cosmos and to an environment and to the beingness of Gaia, to the dragon lines. Dear ones, your light language, let us say, simply drops the need for the layer of information that is your language words, these words that, let us say, are understood by those who are listening on that level, on a mental, linguistic level. You just simply drop that and speak from the soul these very same vibrations. And when you do this, dear ones, this is your spirit connecting with some beingness or beings or environment, etc. And so when you utter your light language, which indeed is life language, you can use these words interchangeably. They are very similar vibrationally, light and life. Dear ones, your life language, your light language, can bless waters, can bless mountain ranges, can bless stars. You can speak directly to a star in the night sky. You can speak directly to the moon. And these blessings are a deep connection, direct connection with that star, with that moon. Dear ones, you can learn to use your light language, your life language, your soul signature, speaking out vibrationally to connect with, let us say, undercurrents of purpose behind these connections. This purpose, this is a soul purpose. It is not a mental, me as this being on this your Gaia, living X amount of years. My purpose is to do this with my career. This is a very surface level of purpose. The soul has deep purposes, dear ones. Like the deep waters of the ocean, your purposes on the surface are like little tiny waves, and your soul has surfaces that are moving great currents in the depths of your beingness. And, dear ones, your light language or life language can connect those deeper purposes with this moment of now that you are uttering this light language into. This is the same with all beings. For souls, let us just say, souls can wear form like you would wear a wardrobe. And so when you are speaking to a being, you are not speaking to just a human. You are not speaking to just a unicorn or a fairy or a dragon or an angel. You are speaking to the spirit that dwells within that being and to the deeper undercurrents of that beingness. And when you use this light language, all of you are connecting on a much deeper level, dear ones.
I am still burning is asking, the energy really shifted this last week for me. Any advice for working on lingering healing issues in these energies? Thank you.
Dear ones, as we have spoken before, these golden codes that we will be bringing forth will help greatly with such lingering issues, whether they be health issues or whether they be emotional issues or, dear ones, belief systems that are trying to persist and are impeding the beginning of this golden age for you. There are many lingering issues, let us just say, that are can be addressed in these times, in this moment of now, to help fully usher in this golden age for each of you. And the advice for working on these energies that are, or these blockages that are lingering, or these burdens or belief systems that are impeding you, is to become more and more aware of them. For let us just say that subconscious habits and belief systems and even subconscious based health issues, dear ones, are often operating beneath the hood, so to speak, where they are unseen, like the operation of a car engine under the hood of the car. They are just working behind the scenes to propel the car along, and if there is some sort of issue with the maintenance of the car, usually it is a mechanic that is looking into this, not necessarily the driver of the car in the full awareness of what the problem actually is. It is very similar, dear ones. You just need to become your own mechanic and understand what is working under your hood. And the more you understand this and become aware of it, the more you are able to affect change of your own upon these systems, even create upgrades or remove old legacy technology. Let us drop the car metaphor. It is too mechanistic. You are a vibrational being. Just know that in the depths of your beingness, you are vibrating at certain levels that you are not aware of. And some of these vibrations are a little discordant or out of harmony with the symphony that is you. And so become aware of these inharmonies and, like the conductor of the symphony, just simply give energetic instructions for how to remedy this and bring this oboe player or something who is a little distracted and not really with the program, get their attention, make eye contact, wave your little stick around and say, no, get with the program. And it is like this, dear ones. You just need to become aware of what is not resonating with this new song that is your story. And so hopefully this makes sense to you.
I see Kelly is asking, she says, hello, Jadon Se and all. I'm new to this community too. Could you please advise how we could use our dragon energies to transcend past life aspects that may not have been of the highest light?
Dear one, because you have mentioned past lives, let us just say that it may be of use and interest to you to take working with dragon energies level 1. It is a class we have been offering, and we are on I believe the 5th class now for the level 1. And the very first exercises in that class, the very first bits of wisdom transmitted and discussed and offered up, let us say, have to do with time and eternity and lifetimes. Yes, what you consider to be past lives, and understanding the way dragons see past lives from your vernacular, from your way of seeing and thinking, reframes your entire way of looking at the soul, so that what is happening is so many humans in lifetimes on this your Gaia, in this period of time, in this story, this grand story of Gaia, so many of you look at your lifetimes, your soul's progression, you might say, your soul's journey as linear. You are artificially imposing your ideas of time on your soul, and the dragons offer you a way to see that transcends this and removes the shackles of linear thinking from the story of your soul. And when you do this, dear ones, it liberates you. It allows you to see a much grander view of your soul, and instead of past lifetimes, dear ones, you will see them as connected lifetimes outside of time, in this grand eternal moment of now, you might say. It is just a way of reframing so that you drop this concept of past and future when speaking of the soul. And then this allows you to see connected lifetimes in greater clarity and purity, and to not have this artificial layer of linear time that limits your understanding. And so when you do this, dear ones, let us just say that past life regressions become a joke to you because you understand so much beyond this. It is so far beyond past or future lives or lifetimes on this world or other worlds. Let us just say it reframes your entire view of eternity. And when you do this, dear ones, it opens up avenues for you to bring in abilities and connections with your connected lifetimes. You can very directly bring in abilities, understandings, visions, what you might even consider to be magic from connected lifetimes, dear ones, for your highest good and the good of all, dear ones. Let us just say that using dragon energies is very helpful to do what you have mentioned on a level that you have not even necessarily understood to this point. So we do recommend you take at least your level 1 working with dragon energies class if this is of interest to you, dear one.
I think Carlos is asking about a dragon in the Bible. Is there? The old serpent?
Dear ones, take a look at dragons globally, and you will see that in the West, let us say under the umbrella of Rome, we will put the pinpoint right on Rome. Under the umbrella of Rome and Roman influences and Roman Christianity, there have been associations of dragons and serpents made on purpose, artificially, let us say, to scare people away from working with dragon energies. You will see if you look at the histories of humans interacting with dragons in Asia, in outlying areas away from your umbrella of Rome. It is only Rome that depicts dragons as having a forked tongue. And this is a snake thing, dear ones. This is you're conflating stories and mythologies of snakes and dragons. And why? To scare people, to associate dragons with this evil being from the Garden of Eden, this tempter who has even got a bad rap. That poor snake was not even evil. Dear ones, it is dragons and snakes are different beingnesses. They are different archetypes. It is only that you see some relation in some of their attributes because of these conflations, dear ones. Dragons are closer to what you would call dinosaurs than snakes, and not even related to dinosaurs. And so, dear ones, if you look at your globe, dragons in the east and anywhere outside of the Roman umbrella of influence, they have a tongue that is human-like or even horse-like or cow-like. It is not a forked tongue. They are not seen as evil deceivers. They are not seen as agents of fallen dark angels. They are not. It is only the Emperor of Rome, known as your Constantine, who purposefully conflated these two. And this was a very wry and savvy politician who did this, who understood that the best way to beat Christianity is to join it. And then when you join it, you co-opt it, and then you pollute it and you corrupt it. And so your Constantine, this emperor, and his minions all scheming to make dragons seem like evil creatures, and so that humanity would completely dismiss them and stop working with the wisdom and guidance and upliftment that dragons are here to offer all of humanity. And so since those times, in your West, dragons have been depicted as evil serpents and deceivers and workers with dark energies and dark angels. All of this, these are artificial stories created to scare humans away from working with dragons, dear ones. So the true Bible, to answer your question, if you go back to the pure scriptures that were not before this Council of Nicene, where your Constantine was monkeying with all of these things, if you go back to the original Gospels, and even before that, to the Enuma Elish and all of the holy words that preceded even your Old Testament, dear ones, dragons have always been wise, beautiful, benevolent beings here to uplift and to guide and to help, to be of assistance. And so let us just say that your Western mythology has been heavily influenced by these corruptions.
Aaliyah McCarroll 8989 is sharing the purpose of my soul, LL, is harmonizing energies into peace.
Beautiful. Well, it is not many that are fully in touch with and can speak out loud about the purpose of their soul. And so it is beautiful that you are delving into this. This is many souls have this as part of their purpose, and there are deeper purposes as well. Let us just say that when you look at stories, existence, building out eternity, creativity of God, of spirit, let us say that very large regions of that creation are bathed in peace, in peacefulness, and beautiful heavenly understandings. And there are also explorations beyond peace into misunderstandings and conflicts. And let us just say that some of these are just due to choices made of free will that need to play out. And because some of these have played out with happy endings, let us say, some of those stories are very beautiful. Even the ones that have a lack of peace for some of their chapters can be very beautiful. And soul's purposes can span all of this. Soul's purposes can work and very often do work in creating and upholding peace, and they also can, let us say, work through realms where there are a little turbulence and bumps in the road that are not always peaceful, all the way to places where there are tragedies and war-torn regions and all of this. Do not think that the souls in these war-torn regions are operating with some sense of purpose, whether it be restoring peace or correcting imbalance or what have you. So it is yes and yes and yes and yes, and it is very beautiful that you are in touch with your soul's purpose.
Somebody there is sharing, I've worked with the Dragon Healing card for only a few days, and my blood pressure and I'm not sure what BP is, have suddenly dropped 20 points.
I believe that it is like some sort of systolic measurement. There is different measurements. Dear ones, it is beautiful when you understand that your own internal work is responsible for this change in your health. This is, let us say, a transformation that can be so beneficial to you, to understand that your own consciousness, your own awareness, your own beingness and state of being, your vibrational state, so to speak, is the primary cause of health and dis-ease. When it is discordant, this is disease. When it is harmonious and coherent, this is health. And so many of you are starting to understand this causal relationship between ease and dis-ease. And we are very proud of you for understanding this. And again, we do not ever recommend that you go against your doctor's wishes or what have you if you are still engaged in that sort of belief system. So transcend it. This is how you do this. You augment what your doctor is doing with energy work, with spiritual endeavors. And then when you reach these understandings, hopefully at some point, the legacy medical systems for you may become obsolete. This is a beautiful goal to aspire to. Beautiful understandings and sharings. Thank you, dear one.
Okay. Kelly is asking, did dinosaurs truly exist, or is the remains of bones that of dragons?
Dear ones, again, I choose the world where. Do you choose the world where these fossils that are being dug up are truly from dinosaurs as told by your archaeological narratives of 250 to 400,000 years ago, million years ago, I should say? Dear ones, it is for you to decide whether or not this narrative is in resonance with your world, the world that you choose. And let us just say that dragons change bodies like they change wardrobe, like we change wardrobes. And would you dig up a jacket that you had once worn and say, "Look, the remains of a human"? And would it truly be your remains? And let us just say that dragons, for the most part, there are some very physical dragons. For the most part, dragons are energetic beings that are able to shift form very easily, and therefore do not die the way you think of death on your world, on your side of this artificial veil of understanding, let us say, where you think that your form is truly you in all of this. And so, dear ones, you can look on this side of that veil and see these fossils and these remains as being the actual remains of beings rather than just the form that they wore for a time. And so therefore, when you look at a form, any form, if you look through the eyes of a dragon, you see a spirit. You do not see a butterfly or a moth, or you do not see a bird or a whale or something like this as the truth of that being. We see that as a form, as a story that they were playing out in that time, in that place. And therefore, we do not look upon any being, whether it be dinosaur, pterodactyl, etc., as being the truth of that being. We look at it as a story that spirit was playing out in that time and place. And so it is just a different way of seeing things. And so if you are to identify the spirit of a dragon, we do not do it by form. The spirit of a dragon takes form. And that spirit of a dragon can take the form of your own house cat. It can take the form of an orca. It can take the form of a bird. Dear ones, you can feel the dragon energy coming through that house cat or that orca or that bird. When you start to open your eyes to what truly spirit is, you will start to read energies, and you will start to understand that there are dragon energies present in some dinosaurs, and there are dragon energies present in many humans, dear ones, and you will see that there are dragon energies all around you.
Sean Rosie G37 is asking for a blessing. Hello, Jadon Se. May I get a blessing as I am going through a legal battle and I am doing my best in grounding myself, protection. Any help from the Golden Dragon is much appreciated.
Dear ones, when you have reached a point in a story where there is some sort of conflict, this can be a conflict with swords or with words or with pens and lawyers, and they are all the same. It is a contest of wills or a contest of some sort of conflicting purposes, let us say. And a legal battle, dear ones, is there is very little energetic difference between that and two knights in shining armor fighting with lances and swords. And it is, let us just say that when you are in this situation, the protection side is like the swords and the armor and all of this. The protection is needed because of the aggression, because of the, let us say, aggressiveness of both beings or groups of beings. And so therefore you are not only trying to protect yourself, you are also sharpening your own swords. And this is a warlike mentality mentality. Anyone who is focused on either protection or attack is in a warlike sort of mentality, where this being is not your friend. They are not your ally. They are your, let us say, antagonist. And when you are being antagonized, or you feel like you are being antagonized, oftentimes you will go on the attack yourself, or try to hide behind this protection you are speaking of. So, first and foremost, become aware of your vibrational state in this so called conflict. Become very aware of it. Are you the antagonist? Are you being a counter antagonist? Is there a way to de escalate this so that protection is not even needed? And if the answer is no to that, and you are just set on this conflict, then, dear ones, and only then is it appropriate for you to try to craft a creative way through this conflict. And, dear ones, there are even ways to do this in a combative even mentality where you can assure that both beings or both camps are not harmed or gravely injured. You might know of some martial arts that involve learning to kick and punch and throw people around and try to harm the opponent. And then there are martial arts where they just use the energy of their opponent and deflect it, like your Aikido, where an incoming punch is simply diverted slightly to put your opponent off balance and make them fall over by their own motion, and their own attack will knock them over because you just simply nudged it a little as to put them off balance. And so in this martial art, some of them are even trained to make sure that their opponent doesn't get gravely injured, to even help them fall on the ground without getting too hurt. And you just wear them out until they finally give up their attacks and walk away. And this is, let us say, possible in every conflict. You do not need to necessarily put up your armor and your shields and your sharpen your swords and all of this. It can be like this. So it is your choice. And if you choose the protection, let us just say, protect your own deeper feelings first and foremost. Your own emotional beingness, your emotional well-being should be protected before all else. Your body can get hurt, your bones can get broken, but if your heart is broken, that is a grave injury, dear one. So protect your feelings first and foremost.
Dear Jadon Se, some YouTube channels are saying that alien disclosure will happen soon. Will we experience it if we believe it? Is it about belief, or will we all experience it collectively? Thanks.
Dear ones, part of what is falling away as these old times recede and this old tide of darker energies ebbs and this new golden age comes flowing in, part of what is transforming is beings are waking up to no longer needing authority figures to pronounce what reality is. And therefore, this whole concept of disclosure shifts with that. If you need to have someone standing on the lawn of some White House or in front of some palace of parliament or some capital city, and this authority figure to say aliens are real and these ships are real, and dear ones, do you not see that there is sort of a disconnect there? All you need to do is open your eyes, go out at night, look at the skies, look and listen to other beings who have seen these things, and just feel into the truth of whether they are saying the truth for them. You do not need someone pronouncing with authority that aliens are real and they have been here for decades, and that we have some of their crashed vehicles and we have some of their bodies, and it is those who are still attached to authority that need this disclosure, dear ones. just about all of you. There are two of you who are not so sure, but most of you are absolutely sure that there are star beings, that you have star families, that they have been coming here for thousands of years, millions of years even, and that, yes, dear ones, that this planet is even a garden tended by them, curated by them, and by different factions and groups that come and go. And, dear ones, most of you already know this in every fiber of your being. You do not need this authoritative confirmation. It is just that you wish to see the tide change to the point where people are no longer ridiculing those who have seen mysterious and wonderful things. This can be said of all mysterious and wonderful things, not just aliens, also things like fairies and elves and gnomes. And dear ones, let us just stop ridiculing others for their experiences. Let us be open to that they may be speaking the truth from their own experience, and let us feel into whether it resonates with our truth. This is all that is needed. This grand disclosure that you are waiting for is just still a stuck energy from the old days where you needed some priest or politician or leader, world leader, to say with authority that something is true. And this is what we are leaving behind. And the golden age will come when you trust the depth of your own beingness, your own experience, your own realizations, dear ones. Yes, understandings are important, and they become real when you walk that walk, dear ones. And so, this disclosure that you are looking for, this authoritative disclosure, has already happened, dear ones. Your government officials have already said, this is happening, this is real, we have the craft, we have the bodies. It has already been disclosed on this level. So, those of you who are still staring out there waiting for some grander, more official announcement, you'll keep waiting and waiting, and it will never be enough so long as you carry that consciousness, dear ones. I hope this helps. And we are now at your 1239 in your Pacific time, and so it is time for us to conclude this. Does your dearest Stephanie have something to add beyond the energetics that you have been lavishing upon us?
No, not really. I guess with the one that was sharing about being your purpose, I can really relate that being a signature of all the light workers, having the courage to be present with the unease within and bringing ease, and then having that reverberate outside of yourself. And that is a perfect, beautiful way to be of service. So thank you for that.
Indeed. Your beautiful Stephanie is so often very consciously adding a beautiful vibrational energetic of support. She is what we call opening a field to the divine and infusing that into this gathering. And so we thank you, dearest Stephanie, for this. It is a beautiful service, and there are others who are doing this gathering as well, in the gatherings as well. We thank all of you who are opening a field of what? A field of the heart, which is a corridor to divinity, let us say. And dear ones, we thank all of you who have the courage to understand that the heart is the true corridor to divinity. In the same way that the dragons have been bad-mouthed in the West, those same voices have bad-mouthed the heart, and even put in your holy books that the heart is wicked and will mislead you. And this is a distortion, dear ones. Yes, the heart, the intuition can be off the mark, let us say, at times. This does not mean that your heart is not to be trusted. No, it is quite the opposite, dear ones. Your heart is your surest entry point into consciousness that becomes more and more divine, culminating in the very Christ consciousness that your Master Jesus embodied. So follow your heart, trust your hearts, dear ones, and thank you for all of you who have gathered with great and shining hearts. And we know that love is the answer to all. And love, dear ones, transcends even the need for peace. For love begets peace. And when we just surrender to the supremacy of love in our world, in our lives, in our purpose, we will have peace. Beautiful, dear ones. Thank you for gathering with us, and we look forward to speaking with you again. Before we finish this, we will remember this time to do the shout-outs. Sometimes we prematurely click the off button before we do shout-outs. This time your Jadon Se will do the shout-outs, and what is this?
I'm just pointing out that Colorado, I think they rang in there first. So to start at Welcome,
she is.
Colorado.
Your Stephanie is assisting in pointing out the shout outs. Beautiful. So please shout out where in the world you are right now, dear ones, and your. I think it is not Colorado. Your Aaron Darvish is not in Colorado. He's saying thank you to JS and Company. It is above that. There is a Colorado there. Okay. Your Aaron Darvish is in Sedona, Arizona, we believe. And so thank you for joining us, dear ones. We are in Colorado, dear ones. The evergreen state of Washington is with us here. We are here in Worcester, Massachusetts. Your Aaron Darvish has returned to Worcester then, I guess. Not Sedona. We are in Belgium, Holdenburg, Belgium. Beautiful, named after a tribe of Celtic warriors of ancient times, the Belgae. Beautiful, dear ones. You are in Long Beach, California. We are gathering from Tulsa, Oklahoma, from Turkey, beautiful cradle of civilization, Turkey. We are gathering from Camden, New Jersey. We are gathering from Devonshire, England, beautiful rolling green areas of where Merlin once walked. And dear ones, yes, we are gathering from South Africa, from Utah, from East London, UK, from Groves, Texas, London, England, Nairobi, Kenya. Beautiful, dear ones. Aaron, you are still in Sedona. You should not say Worcester, Massachusetts, then, if you are standing in Sedona. Bring in the energies of Sedona, galactic starport Sedona. Malatya, Turkey is in the house, dear ones. New York, New York. Where is Frank Sinatra when you need him? And yes, dear ones, beautiful energies. Gaze upon this map, dear ones. Do you see? We will be adding a little blue dot in your state of Maine. Are there any other little blue dots that need to be added for this gathering? I believe we have Nairobi. We have, looks like we have everyone fairly well covered here. So if you are missing your blue dot, let us know before we say goodbye to you. Beautiful gathering. Thank you for being here. And dear ones, look at this map. Yes, dear ones, Frank Sinatra saying, I did it my way. And this is authenticity at its height, dear ones. Take the wisdom from your Frank Sinatra and to the bank, so to speak. Beautiful gathering. Thank you for being here. Blessings to all, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and for those of you in the Level 1 class, also on Sunday. Look for announcements about the golden codes that will be becoming workshops, assisting with embracing this golden age. Yes, dear ones, congratulations to Maine for adding a little blue dot there. And we are not saying blue as in any sort of politics. It is sort of a lighter blue. It is, we like this blue. Okay, we will see you again soon. Thank you for gathering with us, and blessings be.